All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Teacup for One Great Movie Marathon live stream. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees. So, if you're just joining us for the very first Great Movie Marathon live stream, basically, the core concept of this whole project is that we are watching our way through all of the films that make up the now extinct but legendary Walt Disney World attraction, The Great Movie Ride. So the Great Movie Ride was basically it's where Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is now. It took up the big, beautiful Chinese theater in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it was a beautiful journey where it recreated 12 incredible films with state-of-the-art animatronics, like for the time. Towards the end of the ride's run, they got very outdated and looked very creepy. But anyway, for the last 3 weeks, we've been in the era of Hollywood musicals. We started with Footlight Parade. Last week was Singing in the Rain. And this is our first Disney movie as a part of the Great Movie Marathon. And it is everyone's favorite, Mary Poppins. Or sorry, I should say, it's Mary Poppins. My accent was still better than Dick Van Dyke. Good times. Okay, who do we have here? All right. Oh, everyone, Martha's in the house. Hello, Martha. Good evening. There we go. Jolly holiday with Mary. Yay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, we've got the Pumpkin Queens. Woot, woot. Incredible. And this is really exciting for me because we have the most guest panelists so far on a live stream that we've ever had, which is super exciting. So we're going to be cycling them on in and out. It's going to be a good time. So let's introduce you to our guests for tonight. They don't know who's going to go first, who's going to go second, who's going to go third. Let's see. Who's it going to be? Let's start with Lauren from Castle.
Hey!
Oh, hello, my friend.
How's it going?
Going fantastic. Welcome back. So Lauren was with us last week for Singing in the Rain. Thank you for coming back for Mary Poppins. Super happy to have you. For anyone who doesn't know your channel, tell us a little bit about your channel and then tell us a little bit about the video you released today for Mary Poppins Day.
Okay. Well, we call ourselves Castlescapes and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. So that would be Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, anything that's under the brand of Disney we discuss. And we have different kinds of programs. We have news programs. I do a lot of unboxings, hauls, reviews, things like that. And for today's video, I do what I call for the series of collaborations, doodling with ... So Mary Poppins, doodling with Mary Poppins, where I do doodles while talking about the film.
Incredible, and I love the doodles. They're so much fun.
Thank you.
There we go. Mike says it's best. Lauren, the amazing sketch artist.
Oh, you're so nice.
To shame.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, Lauren, we'll see you in a little bit. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. There you go. Remove. All right. Next up, we have our very special guests, our friends from Theme Park Vets. Hello, friends. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm delightful. So thanks for joining us. So same thing. Tell us a little bit about your channel, about the content that you put out. Then tell us about the Mary Poppins video that you did for the collab today.
We do a bunch of different things like unboxings, pins, gaming, food, different things like that relate to theme parks. And the video that I did was I made ears.
Nice. Very good. Hey, Theme Park Vets. All right. Fun, fun, fun. So I'm going to take you out and then we'll bring you back in for the big conversation a little bit. See you soon, friends. All right. Next up. Okay. Oh, first time appearing on the channel, we have Kaylee Hopkins. Hi, Kaylee.
Hi.
All right. So same question. Tell us a little bit about you, about your channel, and what you did for your video today.
Well, I'm Kaylee, obviously, and I'm so honored to be on here. I just wanted to really quickly say I love your channel, Matt. Great video. I know. My channel, I mostly have been doing reaction videos. I do a Marvel live chat every week. Hey, Christina. And Christina's actually going to be on my live chat on Friday. We're doing our finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I'm super excited. But yeah, I'm hoping to get more into the reactions and kind of keep that as my base. But I also really love pins. So I really appreciated your Mary Poppins pin you're wearing right now.
Thank you.
Yes, and the video I did for today was really fun. I watched the Mary Poppins Returned for the first time, and then I watched the OG Mary Poppins for the first time in probably like 10 or 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And kind of compared the two, and it was a really fun video to make, and I hope it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. All right, well, thank you, Kaylee. I'm going to send you back into the waiting room, and we'll be with you back in a second. All right, next up, we have our friends Amanda from the Hyde Studio Disney. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me, as always. I was trying to trick Martha to thinking I wasn't in the stream. Surprise!
No, here you are. Welcome. So, for anyone who's watching for the first time, on same thing, tell us a little bit about your channel and about the video that you put out today.
Well, I'm Amanda, and as Martha kind of said down there, we've got my husband, Mike, and it's pretty much the two of us, but the videos that do the best are the ones where our 4-year-old Josiah, or JP, is in them. And so we do theme park stuff in Florida since we just moved here in November, and we do a bunch of answering questions and random miscellaneous things, like today's video of talking about Mary Poppins and my top 5 reasons of why I think she is a Time Lord from Doctor Who.
Amazing. See, I personally still think she's a witch from Bedknobs and Broomsticks, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
We'll get there. We'll get
there. It'll happen. All right. Thank you, Amanda. I'm going to send you back in the waiting room. All right. Next up, we have, let's see, who's it going to be? Morgan from Teaching Disney. Hello, Morgan.
Hi.
So welcome. So pretty well, right, what we're doing right now is we're just doing a quick cycle through intro for everyone participating in the live stream tonight. So I'd like you to just tell us a little bit about your channel for anyone watching who might not be familiar, and then tell us about the video you put out today.
Okay, so my channel is called Teaching Disney, and I do a lot of unboxing content and pin content, and I will hopefully have some vlogs coming soon. Hi, Christina. And I have a giveaway that's currently going on my channel, and the video I did was
very popular.
The video I did was I compared the songs from Mary Poppins and Mary Poppins Returns, and I picked the two, I kind of put them against each other, the ones that kind of lined up together, and then and then at the end there is a special surprise of one of my hidden talents that I don't talk too much about on my channel, and I recreated 2 dances.
I loved it. It made me want to get up and dance myself, and I may or may not have done that. No one will ever know. All right, thank you, Morgan. So same thing, I'm going to send you back into the waiting room. We'll be with you in a second. And last but not least, I am so honored that we have the internet's foremost YouTuber covering Mary Poppins, the one and only Dolly Holiday with Mary is with us. Oh, brilliant. Mary, tell us about you. Tell us about your channel. And then tell us about the video that I think you said you're going to put out in like a couple days, in a week-ish or so.
Yeah, I was behind on the whole making a video thing. I'm new here, so. But yeah, my name is Mary. My channel is Jolly Holiday with Mary, and I unbox a lot of Disney stuff, and I collect a lot of Mary Poppins stuff. I tried to put as much Mary Poppins merch in my background as I could, so for your viewing pleasure.
That's my favorite.
Isn't that awesome? Park Pioneer sent me that because she's wonderful. I also do dog stuff. I have 2 Boston Terriers that I feature pretty often. And I just started a couple of new things. Earth Warrior Wednesday. We did that today. It was the very first one. There's a giveaway going on, so you can win a little bracelet that's super cool. And then I just started doing this workout journey to try and get fit for Disney, probably. Just reward everything with Disney.
Amazing. So, yeah. Amazing.
And then I'm going to try and do a video about Mary Poppins versus Mary Poppins Returns, probably this weekend, because I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So this is a good reason.
You're a virtual dog trainer?
Oh, yeah. Megan has a new puppy, and we've just been talking about her for like 2 months straight.
Adorable. Yeah. Fun. All right, friends. Well, that is everyone. Oh, hold on. Hello, Carousel O'Connor. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to bring mostly everyone else back into the chat. For those who don't know, I'm too cheap to get the StreamYard plan that lets me have everyone on screen at once. So we're going to be cycling through people a lot. It's going to be great. So I'm going to bring in Amanda, Kaylee, Lauren. Let's see. Theme park vets. And then Morgan, I'll bring you in just a second. So right now, while we are here, I just want to do a quick quiz, not even a quiz, just a quick survey. That's the word I'm looking for. We spoke about this last week, but for anyone who wasn't here last week, I would like to know, did anyone get a chance to ride the Great Movie Ride while it was still a thing? And yeah. Amazing. So I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts? What are your memories of the ride? We'll start with Mary.
Oh gosh. I remember it was really cool and I think it was really long, but it was nice because of the air conditioning. And I was just so pumped that Mary Poppins was in there. So
yeah,
that was like
starting
the highlight.
off strong with Poppins. That was one of my favorite things. Kaylee, how about you? What are your memories of the Great Movie Ride?
I loved it. I was so devastated when they got rid of it because I felt like it was such an immersive experience, you know, with like the little tour guide or whoever it was, like the person who would like hop on and hop off, and like I've only ridden it twice, so don't judge me on that part. I don't remember all the details, but I like that. And I also love like all the movies, you know, so I got so excited seeing you doing this because I just love all the movies that were featured. So I thought it was a really cool ride that I still wish they had. Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I know. I do miss it. Like, I understand the decision to get rid of it, but like the nostalgic part of me just really wants it back. It's so cool. How about you, friends? Theme park vets?
I only got a chance to ride it once.
Fun. What do you remember about riding it? And like good times?
You were really into movies.
Oh, I know. It was so magical. Oh, what do we got here? Great Movie Ride is an absolute classic. We miss it dearly. Me too. There we go. Favorite ride? Yes, but Wizard of Oz, what I love about Great Movie Ride is, I mean, I'm kind of biased because it's my favorite movie ever, but I think they saved the best for last. So there we go. Oh, and Mike says, so much better. Well, you know, we need different opinions. So thank you, Mike. Thank you. Morgan, how about you? Did you ever get a chance to ride the Great Movie Ride?
Yeah, I rode it actually quite a few times, and I didn't know it at the time, but I rode it about 2 months right before it shut down. And so when I heard that it shut down, I was like devastated. I was like, no, they can't be taking it away. But as a kid, I didn't really like it as much as I did when I was older. I thought it was just kind of boring and kind of scary when I was 7 years old and I rode it for the first time. But then as I got older, I started to appreciate it more.
Yeah, no, I had pretty well the exact same experience. It terrified me as a kid, mostly because of the alien scene, which I'll probably, my whole video for that week will probably just be focused on how that scarred me for life against that movie.
And then the gun scene. I don't really remember the alien scene as much. I might have been closing my eyes.
Yes. Well, the alien scene,
gun scene is what I remember the most. When they like go to shoot the people, I think I like screamed in it. I was like, no.
Oh yeah, well, like that was one of the really cool things was there were two options. You could either be in the scene with the shootout or the cowboy scene where like the building burnt down. Both of them equally traumatizing, equally cool. Good times all around. Oh, Mary said something really cool. I'm going to bring her back into the stream so that she can say it here. Hold on. Mary, say it in person.
Well, I said two things. I love the way that the cast members made it come to life. I totally forgot about that until Kaylee said it, but that was the coolest thing. And then the alien scene scarred me, but I was at least 20 years old, but it was still terrifying.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that transcended age, just the terrifying quality, just because it was so claustrophobic. And then the animatronic dripped on you and no good. Amanda, any new memories from you about Great Movie Ride? Any thoughts?
Any new memories from
last
week? Well, I brought it up quicker this time in case the people that are hanging out today weren't the same. But my favorite memory was after I went on the Great Movie Ride, which was fine. Nice, relaxing ride. I posted photos on Facebook, as you do. And this is back in 2016 when it like auto tagged random people, and it tagged my grandfather as this munchkin.
I love that story.
So next week, maybe I'll remember to do like a side-by-side of this dude versus my grandpa. And I mean, Mike said he could see it. My grandfather was not a ginger and did not look like that. But yeah, it was nice. But I like Great Movie Ride better, but I wish a Great Movie or back up. I like Mickey and Minnie's better, but I wish that it was longer like Great Movie Ride. So
agreed.
Work on that, Disney.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll like revamp it a little bit whenever it opens in California. So we'll see. Because I felt like it felt like it was just missing something when I got to ride it. I don't know what. Maybe it was just missing all the Wizard of Oz animatronics. Who knows? Lauren, how about you? Any thoughts and memories from the great movie ride?
Well, Mary made me chuckle because I said the exact same thing before, where the first time I rode it, I remember it being long and appreciating the air conditioning. So that was the fun part. But, as you grow older, you come to love the great movie ride and just all the classic pieces, being scared by aliens, Wizard of Oz, I think, and Mary Poppins were my two favorite parts of it, though.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like it was a ride where anytime it was a movie that I recognized or even a character I recognized, like Tarzan, I got a little bit more interested. Then when it got to movies that I just sort of knew by reputation, I'd be like, I'll just sit back for the ride. And having watched all the movies straight through once, that's kind of what my experience was like watching those movies that I didn't know about. Like in some cases, felt like I was better off just not having watched them, like Footlight Parade. But that was 2 weeks ago. Doesn't matter. No, don't watch that movie. It's not great. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Mary Poppins. Exciting. Now, was this anyone's first time ever watching Mary Poppins?
Like the original Mary Poppins?
Yeah. Morgan, was it?
It was my first time watching it all the way through. So I've watched different bits and pieces, but I have never watched it the entire thing in one sitting.
What was that like?
I'm not gonna lie, I almost fell asleep like 5 times.
Whoa.
I don't know what it is, but her voice is just so calming, and it makes me just want to go to sleep, especially when she sings "Go to Sleep." Like I was almost out at that point.
That's fair.
Yeah, that is very fair. And I think that's the thing with Mary Poppins is that I think it's a good movie to watch in segments because it's so segmented. It's pretty well just a collection of vignettes, which I think is one of the really nice subtleties about it. But at the same time, it's definitely not a movie that like keeps you awake for the plot.
Yeah, and I think they used to play it like at nap time when I was little. If that's the only time I ever watched it. Like I never went out of my way to watch it. As I got older, it was only like when we were at pre-K and we were forced to all sit down and watch the same thing.
And Tim and KT want to know, how have you sidestepped the movie for all these years?
I don't know. I like animation better.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, there is that one animated sequence, but that's only like 17 minutes, and then you just go back to London and all that.
I'm not kidding. I really thought that was like half the movie. That's like all I remember in the movie. That and Step in Time. I completely forgot everything else.
Well, those are like the two most memorable sequences, so all forgiven. Theme park vets, how about you? If this wasn't your first time watching the movie, do you remember your first time watching the movie, or what's your relationship with this film?
I remember the first time I watched it, I was kind of bored by it. I didn't understand, like, it seemed kind of strange.
Oh, are we frozen? Am I frozen?
No.
Am I frozen?
No, I think Matt might be.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Yeah, so that might happen. If it does happen, if you guys are like not frozen for each other, just keep talking. I'll come back eventually, like Mary Poppins. It's fine. So sorry. Theme park vets. I heard the first part, and then I froze. So what did I miss?
Oh yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was kind of strange.
Yep, fair enough. I remember my mom has said that was her dad's reaction the first time she saw Mary Poppins, was that they were in the car, and then on the way back, he said something like, "Cartoons don't belong with live action." And I think that was his major takeaway. We're going to bring the Hydes back in. Hold on. Amanda.
Did you see me dancing around and was like, "Hey, over here"?
I did. And then my computer froze. There was too much.
There was too much. That was it. I overloaded it. To kind of piggyback off of Morgan and theme park vets, I don't remember the first time that I watched Mary Poppins. I do, however, remember going to see Mary Poppins on Broadway, and I fell asleep in the theater. on Broadway.
Wow.
I was in high school, so I was a freshman in high school, so I'm gonna give myself a slight out. And it was also the third show in 2 days that we had seen. So we had seen a nighttime of Hairspray Friday night, Spamalot Saturday afternoon, and then Mary Poppins at 8:00 at night. And so I fell asleep and I woke up during step in time. So I missed some of it, and I regret that so much. Looking back, I'm like, Amanda.
Oh, Poppins on Broadway was like one of the most magical things I've ever seen. Not to make you feel bad, but to make you feel a little bad. It was like one of the most magical theatrical experiences ever. Like he tap danced on the ceiling. Tell me you were at least like if you woke up during step time.
I didn't sleep through the whole thing. Like I probably slept through. Like I definitely remember Brimstone and Treacle. Is that what the song's called? I think maybe. Yeah. So like I remember that. Like I definitely was up the full first act. So then I kind of like dozed in and out. But if my friend Alicia ever sees this, I'm so sorry that I fell asleep.
Lauren, you looked like you had your hand up. Did you have thoughts on the Broadway?
Yeah, I just a fun fact was that I went to a showing and they said that they're going to have a very special guest. We're like, who's the special guest? Who's the special guest? It was Dick Van Dyke reprising his role as Mr. Dawes Sr. And it was amazing. I was like, how did I get to go to this showing?
I would have been a puddle on the floor.
I was. Gosh. Yeah, I was.
I would be crying.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh,
pretty much. Amazing. Pretty much that was it.
Wow. And do you have any thoughts about your history with the movie, Lauren? Do you remember the first time you saw it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I loved it since the beginning of time. It's always been one of my favorite Disney films, and I just love the animation that's in it, and the Julie Andrews. I mean, she cannot be beat. Her voice is so. I mean, I can kind of understand what Morgan was saying about her voice. Just has that calming.
It happens in Princess Diaries too. Like it's not just Mary Poppins.
Yeah. So I totally understand where you're coming from, but I just love the film.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. Kaylee, how about you? What are your thoughts of the first time you saw it? If you have any memories, or even just your thoughts rewatching it for this round?
Yeah. I don't remember the first time I watched it, probably because I was like probably 3 or 2, something like that. But I remember loving it a lot as a kid and watching it over and over and over because I thought it was just so magical. I loved the animation scenes a lot. And I didn't rewatch it, but I remember years later I watched Saving Mr. Banks and I cried like a baby. And that made me just like have a new appreciation for it too. So I it's not one of my favorite films, but I really have enjoyed watching it again this time and like remembering how it was, like loving it as a kid. And then also the Saving Mr. Banks part to me changed a lot of it for me, but I don't know how many of you guys have seen that. So I won't say too much about it.
I love that movie. That movie's so interesting to me because I feel like it's almost impossible for Disney to make that movie without having a bias, because it is about Walt Disney coming up against P.L. Travers. And P.L. Travers, like I watched a documentary on her a couple years ago, and she was such a strange but fascinating person that I don't think any one movie could fully encapsulate. Like they really only gave us the tip of the iceberg with her. Fun fact, that's not a super fun fact, but interesting fact about her is that she adopted a kid and she didn't tell him that she wasn't his birth mother. But aside from like adopting him, he was a twin that she split up because her psychic like did the star readings of the 2 twins and said, this one's compatible with you, this one isn't. So she just adopted the one that the psychic told her to and didn't tell him that he wasn't her birth son and didn't tell him he was a twin. And when he was 17, his twin found him and then he got really mad at his mom and kind of disowned her. So that's why, like in the movie, she has that one little line where she says, let me just say that there's no family that would notice if I was halfway across the world or in my living room. So
No.
now we know she wasn't.
Now we
She
know.
wasn't a great person. Great mind, not the
Yeah.
greatest of morals. Anyway, Mary, tell us about your relationship with this movie.
She
Oh my
hates it.
goodness. Yeah. I'm just here to bash it, really. I don't remember when I first saw it, but we would watch it every single time we went to my grandparents' house. They would just sit me and my sister down. My mom or my grandmother would like joke, "Do you want to watch Dirty Dancing instead?" And my sister and I were like, "No, what is that?" And put Mary Poppins in. So we would watch it every single time we went to their house. So I couldn't even tell you how many times we've watched it. And I think I'm only obsessed with it because my name happens to be Mary. Like it just ingrained the everything. Made it super special for me. So yeah, and then I just continue to love it as I grow up, which is, I don't know. I feel like this is one movie that you can watch at different stages of your life and see a totally different story. Like as a kid, I just wanted to be able to snap my fingers and clean up my room. And I'm like, why is George so mean? But as an adult, you're like, George has every right to be mean. He has a lot on his shoulders. Like it's just an amazing movie. So yeah, I'm obsessed, clearly.
Beautiful. And that actually is the perfect lead into my next question, because I wanted to ask, did anyone rediscover anything giving this movie a rewatch either this time around, or is there anything that you've taken from this movie rewatching it as an adult that you didn't pick up on as a kid? Like for me, like Mary said, I pick up on something different every time I rewatch this film. This time around, I realized that I was completely missing the point of Feed the Birds for like the first 30 plus years of my life. And I was always just thinking like, why is this woman just exploiting these poor birds? She has the food, she could give it to them, but then she's forcing all these other people to just give her money so that they can feed the birds. If she cared about the birds, she would just give them the food instead of pocketing the money for herself. And I was like, wait a second, she's poor. The whole song is about having empathy for the poor. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but I did. Better late than never, and I think I'm a better person for it, so that's cool. Anyone else? Did anyone else have any fun new discoveries rewatching the movie? Amanda.
Okay, well, not rewatching it like this time, but like when I rewatched it for the first time as like a grown adult, I probably had gone like 5 or 6 years without watching it. No idea that Dick Van Dyke played multiple roles in this movie. I will see myself out.
I found that out today, and my mind was blown.
My Morgan texted me. She's like, "Did he really play that old man?" I was like, "Yeah."
No, I thought she had it wrong, and I was like, "Kaylee, like, you that's not Dick Van Dyke. Like he played Bert," and my whole mind was blown.
Yep. So
yeah. No, I think
that's the big one for me.
The only way I would have gotten that, like as a kid, was because I think my mom told me, and then at the very end, if you stick through the credits, it does that whole anagram thing where it like rearranges his name and it says, "Surprise, it's Dick Van Dyke." So there you go. Okay.
I have a fun fact. I shared this in my video. I don't know if it's true, so it could be a false fun fact. But I'd read somewhere that Dick Van Dyke paid Walt Disney to let him be that role.
Oh, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think, or it might be. I think what, and I don't know this for a fact. I probably should. I think he offered to do it for free, but I don't think he paid money. I think he did it just as an extension of his existing contract, and he had to like really fight for the role. So he full out auditioned for it, just like anyone else. And I just think it's so funny that his accent is significantly better in that role than it is as Bert.
Yeah. Well, I just saw like an article that was like he offered to pay Walt Disney like $1,000, let him play that role.
Yeah, I think I read that too.
I don't know.
That is so sweet. Oh, fun fact. David Thomlinson was the umbrella parrot? I did not know that. That's amazing. And
did you know that David Tomlinson and Julie Andrews actually hated each other on set?
Really? I buy that.
And it wasn't so much later. He used to call her Miss Disney, and she hated that.
Gosh. Oh, that makes me so sad because I love both of them so much.
But they made up later, like a few years before he died.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Like, I've just always been so inclined to not care for him because of how not nice he is in this movie. And then when I watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I love him because he's like the sweetest person ever in that. Hold on, I'm gonna bring Lauren back in for a second. Lauren, you've been in the waiting room. Tell us, do you have any things that you've discovered on this rewatch, or anything that you didn't like pick up on in the movie until watching it later in life?
Probably that I think that I know most of these songs by heart now. I was like dancing around to Sister Suffragette. This, and I'm like, I know all the lyrics to the song.
Oh, it's a classic.
Jane and Michael Banks, you know.
Well done, Sister Suffragette. I'll take my notes for a quick second. Okay, so that is a perfect segue here. Or actually, fun fact.
Yes.
I've actually read Kaylee is correct. He put $4,000. Oh, wow. Wow. I will happily cast anyone in any role they want for $4,000. That's perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
Edwin is Uncle Albert.
That
Yes.
Really?
He's also the Mad
Yes,
Hatter.
that
That's
I
so
knew.
cool. I
Yeah.
love Uncle Albert. Love
Oh,
him.
yeah. Like, Edwin was just one of those people that Walt Disney just kept bringing back because he loved him so much. He just always found roles for him,
Mhm.
which was incredible. But now that we've mentioned Sister Suffragette, I'm curious. I want to know what everybody's favorite either song, scene, or sequence is in the film. Let's see. Let's start with Amanda. We haven't heard from Amanda in a while.
Oh, I am ready to go. I have a very specific moment. Jolly Holiday with Mary. Favorite song, 100%. But the specific moment is I gotta think through it. Hold on. The daffodils are smiling at the dove. That's my favorite part. The entire movie. Love it.
Mary, hold your hand. Yes. the
Yeah,
animal
I
sounds.
love that. I love that sequence, like start to end, jump into the painting and I love that sequence. And I feel like that paved the way for a lot of animation styles moving forward of, adding the animation in with the live action.
Yes, it's singing cows. Just love the singing animals. Oh, quick note. Yes, in case I forget later on, from Zoel's World, remember, check out everybody's channel, not just the ones who are on screen here, but we've got a lot of incredible channels that are joining us in the chat as well. So highly encourage everyone, network with our fellow Disney lovers. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, another favorite scene here. We've got Step in Time. The dancing is so fun. As we got. Feeding the birds is well and good, but regarding memorable scenes, looking back on the Fidelity Dairy Bank.
Fiduciary.
Michael should have invested. Okay, now I've only seen Mary Poppins Returns once, but spoiler alert, isn't the whole point of Mary Poppins Returns that he does invest and then that's why they can say no?
Nope, not at all.
He took his father's shares.
Well, no, there's that scene though at the end where it's Dick Van Dyke again. Spoiler alert, sorry. Where
back.
Van Dyke again, and he's like saying that he invested money in the bank or whatever, and it like saved. If I understood it right, because there was that scene at the end of Mary Poppins where Mr. Banks goes back and hands him Michael's tuppence in his hand, and then there was a scene like at the very end of Returns where Dick Van Dyke came again as like the old man's son, which is he's an old man again. But from what I understood from that, it was like the investment accrued over time, and it was to pay off the.
But it was considered his father's because his father is the one that gave him the tuppence, not Michael himself.
But were they Michael's tuppence though?
They were, but
Yeah,
his father. They said that his father like technically gave them to the bank, so it's his father that opened his shares.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it was such a big thing because they had to find his father's document that said he had shares.
Okay. My memory is like Kaylee.
I only know this because I just watched it like on Saturday.
Yeah,
I just watched it this week and I was like, trying to get this video.
I haven't watched it in a while, so you're probably right.
Yeah, I just saw it when it first came out in theaters, and then I need to rewatch. I was going to rewatch it before this, but and I new episodes of The Circle released on Netflix, and
I'm sorry. Can you back up and please repeat what you just said?
I was going to rewatch Mary Poppins Returns, except then new episodes of The Circle released on Netflix, and Matt has priorities. So
I didn't realize that they released new episodes, so you can kick me off the screen now.
There's a season 2, and it's so good.
Dude,
Like,
okay, all right.
There.
Okay, great. I'm glad we have something else to talk about.
Yes, there we go. Oh, we got some more favorite moments. Supercalifragilistic. Step in Time, all classics. Theme park vets, how about you? What's your favorite song, scene, moment?
The penguins.
Which part? Sorry. Oh, the penguins.
Yes.
Oh, they are so cute. They are so adorable. So one of the documentaries I was watching to prep for my video, one of the animators was talking about how Dick Van Dyke's feet were just flailing all over the place and they were kicking his penguins. So he had to animate the little penguins so that they were dodging him and ducking him at every turn. And it just gave me such a new appreciation for that animation, which is already adorable and amazing. But now just the fact that they're all dodging death from Dick Van Dyke's feet makes it even better. I just love how they're all going, wee, wee, wee. So cute. All right. Kaylee, how about you? Favorite song, sequence, moment?
My favorite song is the same one it was when I was a kid, and that is Let's Go Fly a Kite at the end. I am such a sap in that song, especially after I said, like, after seeing Saving Mr. Banks. That song is just my favorite. It's such a sweet song. Their family kind of getting together at the end. It just makes me happy. Thank you, Christina.
That song makes me sob, like thinking about it. Like I've got the chills.
Every time in Saving Mr. Banks, this is not really a spoiler, but every time when she's like talking with the Sherman brothers and she's like, he mended the kite, and then they start all singing it, I bawl every single time I watch it. Every time. It touches me somewhere deep inside.
That part makes me sad just because Mary's leaving, and I'm just always so sad that they don't notice that she's gone, which I know is the point because she's like fixed the family, but it's like Mary's leaving. Say goodbye at least. Oh, okay, well, we got this.
They do in the second one. They do say goodbye.
True. Coordinated penguin. Morgan, how about you? Have we heard your favorite song sequence or moment yet?
I don't know. There's so many good ones. I love the dance. I love the Step in Time dance sequence. That is probably my absolute favorite dance sequence because it has the most dancing. And it's not the most technical, but it is the hardest to do. And I know from experience. But my favorite song is probably Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yes, a classic. So good. Just the animation, love everything about it. And Step in Time, which I could just watch that on repeat every day, which sometimes I have done. But again, going back to the documentaries, just knowing that Dick Van Dyke learned to dance for that sequence and then watching the stuff he's doing is like, that is Disney magic of another kind. Like that one part when he jumps on the roof and he does a somersault and then he runs, then jumps on the second roof and so good. It gives me faith as a non-dancer that if you try hard enough, you too can be Dick Van Dyke.
Hey, I can teach you, Matt.
Let's make that a series. Teach me a time step. Let's go.
Dick Van Dyke's still dancing. I saw one. If you've ever seen Dancing with the Stars and things like that, I feel like it was Dancing with the Stars, but Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars did a Step in Time dance, and at the end, Dick Van Dyke came back. I mean, this was a few years ago, and he did it, and it was he didn't do a lot of it, but I mean, he can still move okay.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's in the new movie. And he's in the very background, and he's doing the Step in Time.
I just remember him dancing on the desk, and I was scared he was going to fall and die. I'm back. Perfect. What did I miss?
I didn't miss anything.
I didn't even notice.
Nothing. I didn't. You were fine.
Didn't even notice I left? What am I, Mary Poppins? And are you the big family? Come down. Oh, my goodness. Marvel reference. Love it. Lauren, have we heard your favorite song, sequence, or moment yet?
My favorite song, I mean, if I'm absolutely honest, it's Feed the Birds. But if I want to pick a song that isn't Feed the Birds, it is Sister Suffragette. That song is so peppy, and it just tells me everything that I need to know about Mrs. Banks. And I just love that song for so many reasons. My favorite special effect is when they go and jump into the into the paintings.
Yes.
The chalk drawing. I think that is the most amazing thing. I remember being so amazed as a child.
Yeah, it's incredible. So good. And Sister Suffragette, like you said, like it's such a good storytelling song. Just as a musical theater appreciator and musical theater nerd, I've grown to appreciate that song so much more the older I've gotten because yeah, like you understand in those just couple minutes of music who she is, the time period, which is such a big deal, and then just also laying in this theme about like women's rights, suffragette movement, whatever, or not whatever, but I think it's kind of like a running theme where the whole movie is sort of a satire on the authority that men held in the time period, even though women were basically running everything for them. Like how just Mary and Winifred the whole time know how to pull Mr. Banks's strings so that he thinks he's making the decisions, but they're really just like, well, didn't you say you wanted this to happen? He's like, yes, I did. And like that's very much a Mary thing, but I've started to appreciate that Winifred is doing that as well, and she's such a brilliant character. Just this like dichotomy between her being like a very passionate suffragette while at the same time being married to a very conservative banker. It's brilliant, and I love everything about her. And speaking of Sister Suffragette, Mary. First off, we love the ears. I don't think we've showcased them yet on the actual live stream, so let's take a look. Beautiful.
They're so amazing.
Yes. And quick shout out. You said you got them from an Etsy shop?
Yeah, Liana's Dazzling Design on Etsy. Once a week she puts all of the ones that she's made up for sale on Saturday, I think, and the whole world tries to grab one up. So you have to be on your toes.
Amazing. It's like trying to get a limited edition Funko.
Yeah.
There we go. So Mary, how about you? What's your favorite song, sequence, or moment?
So my favorite sequence has to be Jolly Holiday with Mary for selfish reasons because I want holidays to be jolly with me. But my favorite song has to be A Man Has Dreams when Bert and George are like having their heart to heart. That stupid song gets me every single time. It's so like beautiful and heartfelt. And sometimes a stubborn man just needs another man to plant a seed for him, and then he gets it. Your wife can tell you something a million times, but you need a stranger on the street to come and tell you, hey.
That scene is so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely my favorite song. So nice. Pretty.
And now I want to know, Julie Andrews doesn't count because we'll talk about her later. Who is your favorite actor, performance, or character in this movie? Not counting Julie. Kaylee, we'll start with you.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke, brilliant.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite thing he does or a favorite moment?
But also, I'll say like Uncle Albert, if we're not going like main cast. I loved Uncle Albert a lot. And that's probably my favorite scene too. Not song, but scene. It was that Uncle Albert scene. So.
Oh yeah, because we all love to laugh. And I think at some point as kids, we all want to think that we'll get to fly if we start laughing. I mean, that's just me. That was just me. Yeah. Morgan, how about you?
Dick Van Dyke.
Fantastic. Theme park vets?
I think you said the street sweeper guy is Dick Van Dyke, right?
Yeah, that's Bert.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. Nice, Lauren.
I'm going to go with somebody different. Glynis Johns.
Oh, yes. Classic. Going back to Sister Suffragette.
Back to Sister Suffragette. And I just thought that she was such a warm mom that, like just a classic Victorian mom.
Mm-hmm. She's like so perfectly cast. And like at that point, she had already had her established career on Broadway and everything. So I just love that they took such incredible time and respect to fill out every role in the movie with like the best actors they could possibly get. Even I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because this is like the entire basis of the game we're going to play later on. But they basically have like Academy Award winners playing lines that have like 2 seconds of screen time. Like that is just how well cast this movie is. It's amazing. Amanda, how about you? Favorite non-Julie Andrews character?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to say Dick Van Dyke just to say Dick Van Dyke.
Well, you can, but
Amanda, join the team.
I mean, I'm definitely. Oh nope, I got it. Admiral Boone.
Oh,
yeah.
but also Dick Van Dyke.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Mary, how about you?
It has to be Dick Van Dyke. He's just so amazing. Can I say Dick Van Dyke as Dawes Sr.? Switch it up.
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. And now, since we skirted around it, let's talk about Julie Andrews. Oh, I wanted to see everyone just make that face. We all love her.
The queen, and not just because she
Yeah.
plays the Queen of Genovia, like the queen.
The literal queen. She is so good. What's everyone's favorite Julie moment? If you had to pick one thing that she does in the movie that just to you is like the thing that won her the Oscar. Morgan.
Other than feed the birds, because obviously that's the true reason. But I love the scene where she's looking into the mirror and just belts it. That is like I could watch that scene for like 20 minutes.
Cheeky.
Oh, and then her mirror self has so much attitude. It's
Yes.
love it. Anyone else favorite Mary Poppins moment, like actual character Mary?
Yeah, when she tells Michael to shut his mouth because he's not a codfish.
Oh, so good.
It's just so funny.
She makes such a strong entrance. Actually, I think that if I had to pick my favorite Mary Poppins Julie Andrews moment, I think it's that very first scene. Like just the way that she commands the room when she walks in and she's like, "You are the father of Jane and Michael Banks, are you not?" I said, "You are the father of Jane and Michael Banks." And just the chemistry between those two. Like, and actually should acknowledge here, going back to favorite characters, David Thomlinson. He's fantastic. And just the two of them up against each other. So good. Yes. Fun. Theme park vets, what's your favorite Julie Andrews Mary Poppins moment?
The spoonful of sugar when they're
Yes. Yeah, and her with the little robin, so cute. Which also, if we're talking fun facts and rumors, I think she's the one whistling for the robin. I read that or heard that in one of those documentaries somewhere. They hired an actual professional whistler to be the robin, but it wasn't working out. So Julie just said, "I'll do it." And she was perfect because, of course, she was.
That's
I didn't
cool.
know that.
Yeah, she's Julie Andrews. Everything she does is flawless. I love it. Mary, how about you?
Fun fact about that robin: it was an American robin and not a UK British robin. They made it the red-breasted robin, which they don't have in the UK. So,
Oh my gosh.
fun fact. And they have two male birds making the nest when it should be a girl and a boy robin. Anyway.
You hear things like that, and then it just makes me sympathize with PL Travers hating because they didn't take the time to actually research what Britain was like.
Right. And they probably have the same birds we have. It's fine.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Gosh, there's just so many good Mary Poppins parts. She's just got so many good one-liners. And the Dosha Sally Expia Fragicalirupus is great. I mean, I don't know. Okay, here, the harmony that she does with Bert when they're like at the top of the chimney stack. I think that's my favorite thing when they're singing Chim Chim Cheree. And that one little harmony gets me every time with goosebumps and stuff. Oh, I love it so much.
Beautiful. I think that moment is so good because it's one of the only calm moments we have in the movie. Like everything else is just such a big spectacle and stuff is moving so quickly. But then there you just have them like floating on a cloud, literally just singing beautiful, simple music. It's so nice. And it's such a good like reset moment before the chaos of Step in Time.
Yes.
So essential. Brilliant. Oh, and then I forgot. I wanted to bring this up. One of my other favorite things that I've noticed with subsequent re-watches is just how hilarious the parents are, respectively. Like all the lines that they have are just so dry and brilliant. Like Winifred, next time, get this piano tuned because when I sit down at an instrument, I like to have it in tune. She's like, "But George, you don't play." "Madam, that is entirely beside the point."
Yeah.
The piano. Or when she's going and she's like, "Oh, good, you can look after the children. I have to go to prison to lead the ladies in song." It's so chipper about such serious, dark things.
And you're just leaving your child with this stranger who's come to clean your chimney.
Oh, it's
It was a different time.
Right.
It's so good.
Exactly. Okay, now something that I think is super fun that I would like to discuss is fan theories, because there are so many fan theories surrounding Mary Poppins. I think let's start, because this was one of the videos today, with Amanda. Amanda, why don't you tell us about the fan theory that you came up with for your video today?
Oh, well, I didn't come up with it. I read it somewhere a long time ago, probably in one of those random like Facebook shared posts where it's like, did you know, blah, 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 blah. So my girl Mary here with her little bag, she's a Time Lord from the Doctor Who series lore part of the world. I can't think of the right word, so we're just going to keep going. Universe, there we go. And I don't want to go into like every detail because that's what my cute little 5-minute video is all about. But primarily it's the whole bigger on the inside thing with, you know, the TARDIS box versus her bag is there. It's never ending. And I think that it definitely got solidified when Mary Poppins Returns came out, and you know, we've now got this new regeneration with Emily Blunt. Like it's like that, just like that solidified it. Like she has to be a Time Lord now because she hasn't aged, but she's a completely different person. It's supposed to be 20 years later, and yet here she is still young, but people still recognize her as being Mary and not just like, oh, who's this random person? So yeah, that's my theory, and I will stick to it.
I love that theory. I've heard that a few times in the past, and just I think the regeneration was the thing that really gave that theory a lot of weight, which I love.
Yeah, before that it was like before it was like there was some similarities, like, you know, oh, maybe she could, but like now it's like, nope, she is.
Yeah.
I want to see some sort of version of Doctor Who where it's Mary.
There was one episode where, like, it's not actually a Mary Poppins connection, but the Master came back in female form, and she's basically evil Mary Poppins in one part. So she flies down with the umbrella, and it was kind of, I think, an in-joke for all the Doctor Who fans that thought Mary Poppins was a Time Lord. And
I mean, Doctor Who is BBC. It's British.
Exactly. It's more British than the original Mary Poppins with its American birds.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible that Doctor Who quietly inspired the original Mary Poppins. The timing would work out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And has anyone never seen Doctor Who and has no idea what a Time Lord is?
Well, great. This has been a great conversation with Matt and Amanda.
Yay! Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's see. Does Lauren know?
Yeah.
Lauren, do you know what a Time Lord is?
Yes, I do. And I loved Amanda's video because I didn't think about it, but then when she laid out all of her arguments, I was like, oh my God, now I can't unsee her as a Time Lord.
Yep, absolutely. And now to counter that, I will now propose my Mary Poppins theory that I released a video on back in October for my Vlogtober Spooky Movie Marathon. So I did Witch Week, and it was all about witches. So I did this whole video about Mary Poppins and is she a witch, which was inspired by our friend Jennifer from Magic in the Music. I started to think about it. I was like, is she a witch? She shows like a lot of the same spells that we see in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. And then I thought, you know what? I'm making this a full fan theory. Mary Poppins is grown-up Carrie Rollins from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. And I just came up with a theory, but now I like fully believe it because she does the exact same magic that Eglantine Price learns in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. They go to the same like cartoon universe. She speaks in a very posh accent similar to Eglantine Price's. Like it's all there. It's all there. And just the pride with which Mary Poppins says, I've always liked my name. I feel like Carrie changed her name to something more prim and proper. That's my theory. Like it hasn't really caught on yet, but hopefully now it will, because I've announced it to the 15 people watching and the 6. So there we go. I mean,
could she be both? Maybe it was one of those like she grew up and then all of a sudden just turned into a Time Lord after she went through her life in the Bedknobs and Broomsticks world. And then she was like, you know what? Now
it's totally possible.
I don't know. Probably not. We can only have one. People in the chat, let us know which one is right.
Yes. Oh,
And you
and
don't have to agree with Matt because it's his channel.
you don't have to, but it would help. I can take people out of the chat. I don't know how, but I know it's a thing I
Put him
can
in
do.
timeout.
Kaylee can help you out on that one.
Oh, really?
My mistake. My very first live stream, I accidentally like blocked one of my friends that was really commenting, and I had another friend who had done a live stream before, and I'm like, Allie, please help me get her back. But I've since found out, so it's all good, you know. I can tell you later.
Hilarious. All right. Does anyone else have any other Mary Poppins fan theories? Oh, Mary has her hand up. Yes.
Have you guys seen Halloween Town from like forever ago?
Yeah.
Because
Debbie
I
Reynolds
think,
did this.
yeah, Debbie Reynolds' character has a bag that floats around, and I think she has an umbrella, so she could be old Mary Poppins, and she like talks to the bag and it moves and stuff, just very magically.
So
Her bag looks just like it.
So she's old Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's like Mary Poppins retired.
yeah, and her kids are witches, so I think Matt's thing works out too.
Well, look at you unifying the theories.
And then, well, if you want to like add in Amanda's, Marnie takes over for her toward the end and is like supposed to be her basically in her younger form, and they're supposed to look exactly like each other when she was younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we just came up with something brilliant here. I love it.
All right, who's writing the fanfic? I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it too. Amazing. Any other fun fan theories? I have like one that I love. Ooh, Morgan, yes.
I love that Bert and Mary Poppins were supposed to be together.
Yeah, what do we think that relationship is between them? Like, the beautiful thing about it is that it's just never specified whatsoever.
Right.
But they clearly know each other. He clearly likes her, and she kind of like, she has like a little thing for him because they flirt all the time throughout the movie. Especially in Step in Time and in it's when they go into the cartoon. It's a Holly Jolly, whatever that. I don't know what it's called.
Jolly Holiday
with Mary. Sorry.
It's the name of her channel. Just going back to
There we go. My original theory kind of throws out with that.
Yeah, I think that they definitely have some sort of like flirty kind of thing. I think it's like a it's almost like a summer romance kind of thing where it's like they go and they meet at camp every summer and they love each other and they're like, oh well, I'll see you next year. And then they go like all school year and then they forget. It's kind of like a Danny Zuko, Sandy kind of thing where it's like, oh, I love you so much. And then I'm going to go away. And then it's like, surprise, I'm back.
Oh, that's beautiful. I also like the idea that she might have been Bert's nanny. That's something I've seen floating around a few times.
Well, that's a completely different angle.
Oh, well, like, in that case, I don't think
That's what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like Julie Andrews and Bert together. I always like them together. But then in the second one, they make it very clear that it's definitely a love relationship between Mary and I don't ever remember his name, but the new Bert. And that makes me skeeve out because he was a little boy in the first one.
He has the hots for Jane, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was with Jane.
Yeah, he has the hots for Jane, and it's a little love triangle then.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't get that, but
I got that Mary liked him. I didn't watch it. I didn't rewatch it again for this, but I definitely get the vibe that Mary likes him in the second one.
I think Mary's just flirty.
I think it's just Emily Blunt likes Lin-Manuel Miranda, even though she's married to like the most perfect man ever.
Yes.
Sorry, my husband's in the chat. I'm sorry, honey. I love you.
But it's John Krasinski, so I mean, like, he can understand.
Yeah, exactly. He'll understand. He'll be like, yes.
And Lauren has a contribution. Yes, Lauren.
Sorry, I just got Mike's reference.
Wait, which one? This one?
Yeah, it took me a moment, but then I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now. Sorry, I had to say it. Yeah.
Miss Mary Poppins.
Everybody together. I like you with you.
Yeah. Well, so theme park vets, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think Mary's relationship is?
I did already.
Okay.
Oh, we missed it.
Well, he told me yesterday that he thought that they were the babysitter.
Yeah, that the reason she knew both from both the movies is she was their nanny.
Yeah.
And she's basically keeping an eye on them the whole time. She keeps an eye on all her children. Because remember, at the end of the first one, she misses and loves every single one of the ones she takes care of.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the, I think going back to that whole idea, that's one of the most beautiful things about the end is realizing that what we've seen in this movie is just like one chapter of something that she does all the time. And it just makes you think, how many other families has she had these encounters with and these adventures with? And
now here's one for you, Matt.
Go.
Let's bring in another big giant fandom here. Do you think that she has like a time turner, and so she actually is part of the Harry Potter world, and so she actually
a bag of holding. That makes sense.
she actually just has taken care of the entire neighborhood. Like all of Cherry Tree Lane has been taken care of by Mary at the same time. They're just jumping into different paintings every time. So there's no confusion. Like we've got the Jolly Holiday scene with the Banks kids, but then 16 Cherry Tree Lane went into the picnic scene.
I mean,
and then it's like the Great Movie Ride all over again.
That would be amazing. I mean, I have read the theories that she is like a Hogwarts trained witch, and if she is, then she's clearly Team Ravenclaw, like myself. Caw.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
I think Ravenclaw is right.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely with the claw.
She's definitely not a Slytherin. Absolutely not.
Now, has anyone read the Poppins books?
I have not.
I did. I read the first book.
Oh, Lauren, what did you think? Tell us your thoughts.
I thought it was good. I feel kind of the same way that I felt when I read Wizard of Oz. There's something about the musical that makes it more dramatic or something, but the books are good. Don't get me wrong. They're good, but they are kind of flat at the same time, I thought. And I think that the musicals really bring more energy to the story.
Definitely. Oh, we've got... Apparently, Martha read it as a child, which I did not know. Well done. Mary, have you read the books?
Yes. Well, I've read the first one and the second one, but I've read the first one more than once. I agree with Lauren for sure. The movie makes Mary Poppins a lot more cheerful and she's still stern, but in the book she's not cheery really at all. But I don't know. There's something really magical about the books too. There's one chapter in particular where, so in the books, Jane and Michael have twin brother and sisters, and they're just about 1 year old. And one of the chapters has how children under the age of 1 can talk to animals and stuff. And it's the most heartbreaking chapter because this crow is in love with Barbara and John are their names. And he comes to visit all the time, and then they become 1 year old and they can't talk to him anymore. And I was the bird is so sad. And I was like, why am I reading this? This book is for children. And this is so traumatizing and sad. And I was just oh my God. But it's really good. It's just in a different way.
Interesting that she wrote about twins, yet she split them up.
True.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think about that.
I am a twin, so I'm taking this very hard right now.
That was horrible.
So I had to tell you that. No, I remember I read the books when I was, I think, 10. It was one of the first chapter books I read when that was a thing they introduced in the curriculum. They were like, you're 10 now, read chapter books. So I picked Mary Poppins. I think I read the first 2 or 3, and I don't remember details, but I remember moments very distinctly. I distinctly remember I can't remember, one of the books it's Bad Tuesday, one's Bad Wednesday, where just a day where either Jane or in the next book it's Michael, just for whatever reason, because of the barometric pressure, just start being absolutely awful, which I distinctly remember was like, that's unsettling. And the parents were a lot more boring from what I remember in the books. Like the dad is fine and the parents are just there and Poppins is just there. But my favorite part was the gingerbread scene, which they cut from the movie, but they still reference with Mrs. Corey, how Mrs. Corey owns the gingerbread shop, and like they go and the gingerbreads have like little stars on each of them. I think they're paper or tinfoil stars, and then the kids have to collect the stars. And then at night, Mrs. Corey, if memory serves, like comes into their room or their house, takes the stars and puts them in the sky. So, and I don't know why I remember that, but that to me was like the most magical thing. So in the movie, when they have that one reference to Mrs. Corey at the beginning, it just makes me happy. And the fact that Mrs. Corey is a pretty prominent character in the musical also makes me happy. What do we got here? I think the plan was to use some additional details from the books to expand the UK area into Cherry Tree Lane, but that was before the pandemic, sad face. I'm still holding out hope that in my lifetime I'll see the Cherry Tree Lane expansion.
I think it will happen. It'll happen.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Unless
like it's one
they
of
come
those
out
things.
with a third one, I think it's gonna get tabled.
Was there going to be a third one?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Because the only reason they thought to make it was because the second one had so much success, and suddenly Mary Poppins was like, "Oh, everyone loves Mary Poppins again, so let's give her her area." And now, like, people are kind of forgetting about her again.
But I think the nice thing, Mary Poppins is pretty timeless. Like it has the original movie, and it's had like a push now with the new movie that I think you can just. It could come at any time and still have an audience, but I think the height has definitely gone down and started to simmer to what this casual Poppins fandom is or was. And with you, Morgan, I sadly think it's off the board. Well, time will tell. Any other fun fan theories that we know of? Okay, because I've saved my favorite one for last. So here we go. Everyone ready?
Okay.
I think this was a thing that originated on Reddit, and I've accepted it as headcanon, and now it makes the movie completely different for me. And it is that Bert is actually the estranged son of Mr. Dawes. And so that's why he looks like Mr. Dawes, because it's Dick Van Dyke. But that also feeds into the sympathy he has for Mr. Banks as like a dad who's like bogged down by the pressures of being a banker. And it motivates that conversation that he has with Mr. Banks, where he's like, you need to be a better father for your children. And just when you watch the movie with that in mind, where you're like, Bert is actually Mr. Dawes, like his son, then it just adds such an extra level of emotional weight, which is so beautiful. So I challenge everyone to rewatch the movie thinking about that.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't think about it.
He looks like his grandfather, basically.
Well, in Returns, he technically does play his son in Returns.
There you
But
go.
He played the father and the son, because in Returns it's the son. So, I mean, technically he did. Your theory is kind of true, regardless for Dick Van Dyke.
Exactly. It all pans out.
Makes sense.
And I read actually that the reason he plays Mr. Dawes Jr. in Returns and not Bert is because I think it was one of Travers's stipulations before she died. That if a sequel is ever made, Bert can't be there. And that it can't be like Dick Van Dyke can't play Bert ever again.
Aww.
Just because she hated him. We all know she hated most things about him. But I mean, I still love it.
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah.
Hold on. We haven't seen Amanda for a while. We're going to bring her back in for a second. Amanda, I want to hear your thoughts on the Bert is Mr. Dawes Jr. theory.
I mean, the fact that Dick Van Dyke is in Mary Poppins Returns as like the son kind of would make a lot of sense with that. But then it's like, if that was true, then like he would have kind of known about, I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a hole. I'm not really sure where it is, but there's a hole in there that it makes it just doesn't feel quite right with Mary Poppins Returns. If it was just standalone Mary Poppins, like if I had no knowledge of Mary Poppins Returns, then I'd be like, yeah, that could be a thing. But then also it's like, I don't know, as a parent, like if I knew that I had a kid and, you know, he was just doing his thing, prancing around with some random lady and some random kids, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, get your life together. Go back to work.
Kind of on point with how PL Travers parented, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, so then I guess it is kind of canon. So I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent about it. I'm not.
Fair.
Yep.
But yes, I challenge everyone who rewatches the movie. Just think of that in mind, and then you too will accept it as headcanon, as I have. But also, I still haven't accepted Mary Poppins Returns as canon. Like, I know it is, but in my heart, it's not. Kind of like Cursed Child, if there's any Harry Potter fans. Like, it's technically canon, but is it?
No, it's not. I'm going to tell you, no, it's not.
There you go. There you go. All right, friends. So I think it is time that we move on to the game. Hooray!
Woo!
Okay, so it's going to be a lot of cycling through for this, and we need to be able to see everyone's answers. So how this game is going to work, it's called Practically Perfect Supporting Cast. So for the game, there are going to be, you have the opportunity to get up to 8 points. I will be keeping track. Hold on. Disney. Just while I'm making my score sheet, which I should have done beforehand, but I didn't.
It's on my forehead, though.
There we go. Let's do Disney. Jolly Holiday. Council Tapes and Phones. Perfect. So how it's going to work is I am going to name character or a famous film performance that someone in Mary Poppins played outside of Mary Poppins, and then you have to tell me what role they played in the movie. So, for example, the very first clue, which is the giveaway for everyone, the first clue would be Maria from The Sound of Music. So, you would write down Mary Poppins, and that's a giveaway for everyone. So, everyone gets a point. So, how the game works?
Are these going to be obscure films that, like, someone who is below the age of 25 has never seen in their life?
The answer is yes.
Entirely possible.
Music as well.
I haven't even seen half the Great Movie Ride movies.
No, well, pretty well, how it's going to work is they're all, if they're not characters from movies that you've seen, they're likely characters that you've heard of. And even if you have no idea who the actor is, when in doubt, just write down a random character from Mary Poppins because, you know, your pool is only so
Are there
big.
repeats? Are there repeats?
Nope. Absolutely no repeats.
Okay, so Mary
Everyone
Poppins will
only has
never be
1
used
point
again. Gotcha.
from, so Julie Andrews / Maria Von Trapp, never coming back again.
Okay.
So next, the person who played Rob in the Dick Van Dyke Show also played what character in Mary Poppins? Again, the person who played Rob in the Dick Van Dyke Show also played which character in Mary Poppins? Now,
I swear, if this is not correct, I'll be like,
so we're going to go through one at a time.
When did the Dick Van Dyke Show air? Please tell me that. How many of us were actually alive then?
Hey, it's available on YouTube and it's amazing. You should watch it.
See, there you go.
Favorite
All right,
of all time.
has their answers.
I'm literally the worst at everything. So I went with Uncle Albert just because the age seemed right. I don't know.
Okay, Uncle Albert. Let's see. Kaylee, how about you? What was your guess?
Bert.
Bert, okay. Lauren, what was your guess? Let's see. Mr. Dawes Sr., okay.
Oh, okay.
Next, I see what you did there.
I feel like Lauren probably knows.
Mary.
Bert.
Bert, okay. Next, we'll go again.
Oh.
Bert, okay. Oh, there we go. And theme park vets.
Bert.
Bert.
Guys, I'm such an idiot.
And of course, oh wait, how How to solo view. There we go. And of course, the answer was Bert, because Dick Van Dyke played a guy named Rob in the Dick Van Dyke Show. I don't know how that works out, but he did. So there you go.
I thought it was too obvious that it was Bert. Okay, guys, listen.
The only way I even remembered that is from one.
Listen, I'm just gonna say it right now. I will not get a single one of these right.
Oh, I believe in you. Again,
no, you shouldn't. You absolutely should not.
Pick random characters. It's good.
I did. It did not work out very well.
It's true. But if you keep guessing the same character, at some point you're probably going to get a point.
But will I though? Who
did you pick again?
I'll go Albert. Okay, so maybe I could. I don't know. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Next. The actor who played the Bride of Frankenstein also played what character in Mary Poppins?
Oh.
Or rather, I should say the actress. It's the lady who played the Bride of Frankenstein also played.
Can you give me like a year that came out?
It was like the
only thing I know.
Mid to late 30s.
1930s?
Yeah. 1930s. So when she made Bride of Frankenstein, she was super young. I think she was like 19 or 20.
Okay.
Okay. That rules out
and of people. Poppins came out. Poppins came out in 64.
Bride of Frankenstein was an adult.
Yes.
There's no way.
Give everyone a second.
I'm conflicted. Okay.
Okay, and actually, because I think I'm almost positive that I know Mary knows the answer because she watched my spooky movie marathon, and you can't see her now, but I can see her doing a victory dance. So we're going to end with Jolly Holiday with Mary, but we will start with Amanda. What's your answer?
Gosh, why me? I put Ellen the maid.
Okay, Ellen the maid. Valid guess. Kaylee?
I was between Ellen and Mrs. Banks, so I'm going to go Mrs. Banks.
Okay, Mrs. Banks. Lauren?
It was the first nanny.
Okay, Katie Nana, yes?
Yeah, Katie Nanny. That's right.
Nana. Morgan?
I put the mom. And I forgot their last name. So I just put mom.
That's fine. If that is the correct answer, you will get the point. I'm not super picky.
Okay.
Theme park bets.
Cook.
The cook, okay. And last but not least, Mary, tell us who it is.
Katie Nana.
Katie Nana, the first nanny. There we go. Congratulations. Wait, how do I
say that was
there we go. All right. So
glad I watched your video.
Yes, everyone, go back and watch the Bride of Frankenstein video. Or at the very least, watch Bride of Frankenstein because it is a much better movie than original Frankenstein. There we go. Okay, next up. Okay, this one, I'm going to give a little bit of a hint. This is one of the more obscure ones because I wanted to have enough actors to make this game worthwhile, so I had to go pretty obscure on some of them. But for a hint, one of the wrong answers from the last round is correct this time around, if that narrows it down. Okay. So, the person for whom Stephen Sondheim wrote Send in the Clowns played what role in Mary Poppins?
What is that?
It's a song from A Little Night Music. It goes, isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in thin air. Send in the clowns. Send in the clowns.
But one of the wrong answers is the right answer.
You love us. And I'm impersonating her right now. My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I'd want. Sorry, my dear. Send in the clowns. Blah, 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 blah. Clowns. Clowns, 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 clowns.
He doesn't remember the rest of
it. So what was the question again? The
actress for whom Stephen Sondheim wrote Send in the Clowns played what role in Mary Poppins? And as a bonus hint, it is one of the people who was answered in the previous round but was wrong, just to narrow it down a little bit. Let's start with Lauren.
Mrs. Banks.
Mrs. Banks, okay. One vote for Glynis Johns. Very nice. Amanda, how about you?
I went with Mama Banks, who also should play Lena Lamont in Singing in the Rain. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Ooh, good one.
All right. Oops, hold on. Video is limited to 6 people on screen. Oh, we'll figure that out in a second. Morgan.
I put Mrs. Banks again.
Beautiful. Right, there we go. Next. Theme park bets.
The mom.
Mrs.
The
Banks.
mom, okay.
All thinking that so far.
Jolly Holiday Mary.
Winifred.
Winifred, very nice. And at the stream. Kaylee.
I had Ellen. So,
Do you want to stick with that answer?
yeah, I'm gonna do it. Why not?
Okay. Very good. And the answer was Mrs. Banks. There we go.
Yay.
Point. Okay, very good. Next up. Ooh, okay, I'm excited about this one. Ebenezer Scrooge. So, one of the actors in Mary Poppins at some point in their career also played Ebenezer Scrooge in like one of the prolific Christmas Carol movies. Not the one with Alistair Sim that's overrated from the 50s that people care too much about. I think his one was like in the 30s as well.
Oh gosh.
The bank. Bank.
Okay. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Theme park vets. What do you think?
Junior bank dude. That's what you said.
Yeah, the junior, not the senior.
Junior bank dude. So the one that's not Dick Van Dyke. Okay, cool. Jolly Holiday with Mary.
I put Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert. Okay. Morgan, teaching Disney.
I put Uncle Albert as well with a question mark.
Uncle Albert. Okay. Wait,
I
who
feel
has
like he would be a great Marley.
Oh, he would be fantastic. That'd be hilarious. Amanda.
I couldn't remember the name Albert, so I put Uncle Laughter.
Uncle Laughter.
So I will now only be referring to him as Uncle Laughter from now on.
Very good. I've lost track. Who hasn't answered yet this round?
I
Lauren.
haven't answered.
Okay, cool. So we'll start with Kaylee.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert. Okay. Lauren.
I said Admiral Boom.
Lauren.
Oh,
That's a
You're
good-
right.
That is such a good
Yay!
guess.
I was trying to get the age range, so I was like
Yeah.
30s. Who would have been in the 30s?
Smart
Good job.
move. Well done. Okay, next. Ooh. Okay. No, I'm gonna save that one because that's way too obscure. No. Okay. No. Everyone, stay in the same frame of mind of where you just were. The actor who voiced the Mad Hatter in Disney's Mary Poppins
Yep.
also played what role in whatever. Mad Hatter, that's the one. Okay, let's go. Amanda.
Uncle Laughter 2.0.
Uncle Laughter 2.0, very nice. Kaylee.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert. Okay. Lauren.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert, all right. Morgan.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert. Mary.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert, very good. And hold on. Theme park vets.
Uncle Albert.
And everyone gets a point. Well done.
It's kind of
Yay.
Okay. Now, this next one, I don't think anyone's going to get, but you know, here we go anyway. The person.
Listen, this is the one I'm going to get, Matt.
I would be
I don't think Lauren's missed one yet.
Lauren
No,
has-
I have.
Lauren
I
has a
did.
perfect score.
Yeah.
But I suspect that this might be the one that gets him. We'll see. Actually, no, this one is so hard. I'm going to save this one for last. So never mind.
Oh,
Okay. The 1941 Academy Award winner for Best Actress played what role in Mary Poppins? Oh, no, sorry. She was Best Supporting Actress. The 1941 Academy Award winner for Best Supporting Actress played what role in Mary Poppins? If you want a clue, she won for The Grapes of Wrath.
Whatever that is.
It's a movie.
Oh wait, I need to change the answer then.
I think.
And in The Grapes of Wrath, I'm almost positive she played the mom. And Grapes
When
of
did
Wrath.
Mary Poppins come out?
Oh yes.
1964.
Grapes
Oh,
of
in
Wrath, I think.
64?
Grapes of Wrath, the movie that she won for. Oh yeah, it came out in 41. And she was playing the mom in 1941, like 20 plus years before Poppins.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. I feel like Lauren has it, so we're going to end with Lauren. Let's start with theme park bets.
No idea. I said cook again.
Cook again? Okay. Like, we're thinking in the right ballpark here. I like where we're starting. Kaylee.
I'm going with Ellen again.
When in doubt, at some point it has to be Ellen.
Come on, Ellen.
Morgan, how about you?
The maid, but the gray-haired one. I don't know if that's the cook or not.
I think that one's Ellen. Okay.
Oh, okay, then Ellen.
Okay. Amanda.
I went with Ellen again.
Ellen again. Okay. Gonna bring Mary back into the stream. Mary.
I'm just gonna guess Mrs. Brill, the cook.
Mrs. Brill, the cook. Okay. And Lauren.
The little old bird lady.
Dang
Yes.
it!
It's the bird lady. She's an Academy Award winner.
Like someone
Yes.
was a Academy Award winning actress. Duh.
It took me a moment.
Was
It
that
took me
the
a
hard
moment.
one? I thought you changed your mind on the
Oh
hard one.
no. The hard one is now. Here we go.
Oh no!
The person who played, and this is a dirty trick question, and that is the only clue you're getting. The person who played the Emperor in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back originally.
Oh, the original one, not the one
The
that
person who originally played the Emperor
Star Wars
in
Hero.
Star Wars The
Yeah, but
Empire
it's
Strikes
somebody
Back.
they recast.
Yes. What role did they play
They
in
got
Mary
the
Poppins?
cast from. That's why we never saw him because they didn't keep it. Oh, I'm not.
Theme Park Vets is on the right track.
Yeah,
We have no idea.
yeah, because the guy that's in the movie isn't the guy that's talking about. That's why it's a dirty trick. Oh, dang. That's a tough one.
Because Theme Park Vets is the closest. So let's see. What do you guess, friends?
Guess something.
You know what? I'm going to say the junior bank dude. That's the only thing I can think of.
Dawes Jr. Okay. Got one vote for Dawes Jr. Morgan.
Mr. Banks.
Mr. Oh, good guess. Okay. Mr. Banks.
Wouldn't have thought of that.
Lauren.
I went with the officer.
The Office. Oh, okay. Good guess. Thinking along the right lines. Amanda.
I went with the Admirable's right-hand man.
Okay.
That was almost going to be my answer.
Mary.
All right, I'll go with Mr. Binnacle too then.
Mr. Binnacle too. Okay. And Kaylee.
I don't think it's right, but my answer was Mr. Dawes Jr.
Mr. Dawes Jr. All right. And now for the big reveal. No one got a point. It was, in fact, Mrs. Persimmon.
Ah,
What?
I suspected Mary would be the only person who knows who Mrs. Persimmon is.
yes.
She's the
That-
girl with
Persimmon
the.
is.
She's the woman with the tall daughters.
No, that's
No,
Mrs.
that's
Corey.
Oh, Miss.
Oh,
Mr. Persimmon doesn't get a song because he gets distracted by the wind.
Yeah, he's the one that's like
Wow.
Mrs. Persimmon and then awkward silence. Then she's just like,
Right. Oh
yeah.
my
So
God.
Her face was the original like hologram of the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back.
oh,
Oh my.
Wow.
Now, as a Star Wars fan, that was a good question. I gotta ask my cousin.
it was the fact that they changed it, not to the main actor, but it
Now I'm
was,
going to tally up our points. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can tell you who didn't win.
Oh, but don't worry, we have a final Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All or
okay.
nothing. I'm in. All one of my points.
Okay.
yeah,
So the current scores are as follows.
I know.
Right now, Teaching Disney has 4 points. Kaylee has 3 points. Theme Park Bets have 4 points. Hyde to Disney have 3. Dolly Holiday with Mary has 5. And Castle Capes and Clones have 7. So you are going to have the opportunity now to pick how many points you would like to wager before the final Jeopardy question. I will tell you the final Jeopardy question is not this format, because those are the only actors who had notable roles in anything else. So the final Jeopardy question will in fact be, I don't want to give it away. Yes,
Different.
I will. It will be a spelling question. So tell me how many points you would like to wager, knowing that the final round will be a spelling question. Let's see, we'll start with Amanda. How many points would you like to wager?
All of them, because it doesn't matter.
Okay. Lauren, how many points would you like to wager?
Yeah, go big or go home.
Go home? Okay. Kaylee, how about you?
All of them.
All of them?
All
Okay.
3 of them.
Mary.
All of the points. 20 million points.
Okay. Theme park bets.
All in.
All in. Okay, we're going to bring back Morgan. And Morgan, how many would you like to wager?
All but one.
Oh.
Okay. So
I can't spell. I'm not an English teacher. I'm a math teacher. So, hey, I was calculating in my head. I was like, I need to know Lauren's answer before I answer.
okay, that's fair. Okay. Oh, how do I do this fairly? Oh, it doesn't matter. Life isn't fair. So I'm just going to pick somebody at random to go first. And the word that you will be spelling is supercalifragilistic.
I knew it. I knew it.
I have been practicing
so
my whole life.
Get a chance, and I am going to just try to keep track to see who's right and who's not. And then we'll come back together at the end and see how the points go. Who are we going to start with? Who are we going to start with? Who are we going to start with? Start with Lauren.
Okay. SUPCalifragilisticexp, excuse me. LALIDICOUS.
Okay. Kaylee.
Hang on. I'm like rewriting it. Okay. SUPERCALISTICXPIALIDOCIOUS.
Okay. Next. Theme park vets.
I'm stumbling.
Yep, no problem. Actually, can you start from the beginning? I lost track when I was writing it out for myself for your answer.
Okay.
SUPERCALIFRAGILIDOCIOS. That was
Okay.
IOUS.
Okay. Next up. One.
Yeah.
We spelled it right. We did not say it right.
I wrote it down, and I wrote it down correctly.
Amanda.
Oh, I have been preparing for this for years.
Music.
I didn't sleep through this part of the musical. SUPERCALIFRAGILISTICEXPIALIDOCIOUS.
Okay, we'll see if that's right.
Wow.
Who has not gone? We'll bring on Mary.
Yeah, I'm with you, Amanda. SUPERCALIFRAGILISTICEXPIALIDOCIOUS.
Okay. And Morgan.
SUPERCALIFRAGILISTICEXPIALIDOCIOUS.
Okay. Very good, very good. We'll bring everyone on back in. Now, I'm going to fully admit that I think I accurately tracked who got it right and who didn't. But I'm assuming that you all have your answers written down. So I'm just going to trust all of you that you will be honest as to whether or not you got it right. So the correct answer is, of course, the one that we all had sung to us, which I will now sing as well. SUPERCLIFRAGISTICIEXPIALIDOCIOUS. And based on my records, I believe theme park vets and castles, capes, and clones were like a couple letters off.
Yeah, I got one more.
Yeah,
no, because we kept stumbling over it.
There we go.
You wrote it down correctly.
You wrote it down correctly? Okay, that counts. So then that means, Lauren, how the mighty have fallen.
I know. Oh my God.
Fallen down to 0 points. Even though you put in the effort with the rest of the round, so we're good there. But then, of course, our reigning champion of Mary Poppins trivia, living up to her namesake, we have Dolly. Incredible. I have no prize for you, but you know what you did. So there you go.
The honor is all I need.
All right, everyone. So that wraps up our Mary Poppins live stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and thanks for being here, everyone. So just before we wrap things up, does anyone have any fun closing thoughts on Mary Poppins or the Great Movie Ride before we sign off?
Well, this word was actually one of my spelling words in 6th grade, and I actually got it right. It was an actual extra credit word, and I was the only one who got it right.
They made you spell that when you were a kid at school?
It was this extra credit word.
That's amazing.
And I got it. I was the only one who pulled it off.
See, they were teaching you life skills. They knew this moment would come.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. And it paid off. Amazing. All right, everyone. Well, then I am going to leave it to all of you to just once again remind us who you are, remind us where we can find you on YouTube or any other social medias. And yeah, let's start off with, because she's first on my screen, Amanda. Where can we find you? Who are you? What do you do? Go.
Well, I am Amanda from the Hyde Studio Disney, and you can find us at the Hyde Studio Disney on all your social media platforms that you want to find us on. And we do a bunch of everything: theme parks, cooking, random videos like talking about Mary Poppins, or talking about why Tomorrowland Speedway is now Mike's least favorite ride and what he would do to change it. So with that, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you, Amanda. Bye-bye. Next up, Lauren. Tell us about your channel. Tell us where we can find you.
Yes, you can find us at Castles, Capes, and Clones on YouTube. It's if you try to find us by our name, it might be Castles, Capes, Clones without the and. You can find us on Twitter at CCC Disney Uni, on Instagram at Castles, Capes, and Clones. And again, we do a lot of news, we do a lot of unboxing, we do a lot of hauls, we do a lot of reviews. So come join us for the fun.
Amazing. Thank you, Lauren. Next up, Kaylee, how about you? Where can we find you?
Well, Kaylee Hopkins. That is my YouTube name. Yeah, I am doing some live shows. A lot of my little friends are watching right now. Hi, that are going to be on my live show on Friday to watch the finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier, including Morgan. Well, actually, no, Morgan's not. I'm sorry. Morgan is doing another show that's for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So you should check both of us out. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, Matt. It's been an honor to be on the show.
Oh, the honor is all mine. Thank you for being here. All right, next up. Oops, hold on. There we go. Theme Park Vets, Miss. Tell us where can we find you on the socials, and what kind of content can we look forward to seeing from you in the future?
My channel names are Tpv Misc, and also Theme Park Vets, and we on the Tpv Miscellaneous, we do like a whole bunch of different things. And you can find us on Instagram on Theme Park Vets.
Amazing. Thanks for being with us tonight, friends. And then next up, Teaching Disney. Morgan, where can we find you?
So you can find me on YouTube and TikTok at Teaching Disney. I don't really post much on TikTok because my students say that I'm too old for it. So I don't post much on it, but it's there. And then on Instagram at Morgie MORGIEBEE789 on Instagram. And I currently have a giveaway going on. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And then there's like a bunch of extra entries. The Mary Poppins video has an extra entry in it. You can get up to like 6 on Instagram, and there's one obviously on the giveaway video, and then more videos to come.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Morgan. There we go. And finally, Mary, where can we find you? What can we look forward to seeing from you?
You can find me on YouTube. Jolly Holiday with Mary is my channel, and I have just a ton of stuff daily. I'm uploading daily, so I'm trying to put it all out there. And then on Instagram, it is mary.jollyholiday. And yeah, just a lot of Disney stuff, workout stuff, dogs and Disney. It's my thing.
Brilliant combo. Amazing. All right. Thank you, Mary. And of course, everyone, my name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees. You can find me here on YouTube on the channel you are currently watching. If you haven't subscribed, I would normally say, please click on my face. We don't have the technology to do that with live streams. So please, there's probably a button hovering somewhere. Just click it. Just do it. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to me. And if you want to follow my channel, I talk about Funkos, Disney, film history, sometimes Shakespeare, and it's just, this is the place where all those things combine. So here we go. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free, come back for subsequent weeks for the Great Movie Marathon. We've got one of these every Wednesday for the next 9 weeks. Next week is The Public Enemy. So we're going to be talking about like pre-code black and white mobster films. It's going to be super fun. I hope. I haven't watched the movie yet. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, until then, my name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees, and this has been the Teacup for One. Go away. How do I end this?